I'm a 21-year-old guy in college. Recently, over the past couple of years or so, I've gotten really into weightlifting and bodybuilding. When I started going on a diet, I got a Costco membership so I could buy lots of food at a time and save money. One day, a couple of months ago, I was shopping one night. I was buying all the usual items that I would get, and maybe 10 minutes into my shopping trip, as I was picking something off the shelf, a woman commented to me about how much food I was getting. We chatted very briefly, just kind of joking around, and then we went our separate ways. I shopped for maybe 20 more minutes or so and then checked out. It didn't take me too long because the store really wasn't that busy. When I was done, I took my groceries out to my car in the quiet parking lot. I loaded them in, and when I was done, I heard a familiar voice calling out to me. I looked behind me and saw about 50 feet away in the parking lot the same woman who I had been talking to inside the Costco. She was smiling and waving at me. She was maybe in her 40s and seemed pretty friendly. I waved at her and she waved at me to come over. I walked over and saw that she had a bigger box on the bottom of her cart. She told me that she had strained her back not long ago and asked if I could put it in the car for her. I told her sure, and I was happy to help out. She opened up the side door of the car, which looked to be a 2015 Chevy Suburban. She asked me if I could place it in the back seat and then apologized for it being a little bit bulky. I said sure, and I had to get inside the car to do so. As I was placing it in the back seat, I suddenly noticed that a man was sitting in the back seat, almost hiding from me. Just as I was noticing him and still had the box in my hands, he reached out and grabbed my arm. This man looked to be very large and had a strong grip. However, I am somewhat strong and was able to pull away from him. But when I had broken free from the man, I saw the woman slam the side door shut that I had gone in. The man began to come near me, and I saw the woman standing in front of the side door, as if to hold it shut. There was another box blocking the other door, so I went to the side door the woman was in front of and opened it anyway, just as the man was about to reach me. I flung the door open, and the force of it opening sent the woman back, and she nearly fell to the ground. The man then grabbed at me one more time, but I was able to make it out and then rush back to my car as fast as I could. There was no way that they were able to catch up to me running, and I saw the woman run to the driver's seat. When I got back to my car, I saw the Suburban start up and then screeched away. I didn't get a license plate or anything, but I decided to go into Costco and report what had happened. Since then, I've shopped at the same Costco several times and luckily never saw the woman or the man again. I'm an 18-year-old female, and this story happened just a few months ago. I went to Costco with my boyfriend and his 13-year-old sister. We were shopping for groceries and other various items when Sarah, my boyfriend's sister, said she needed to use the restroom. I wasn't really sure where the bathroom was, so Tyler, my boyfriend, told her to go ask an employee. She ran off in search of one, leaving Tyler and me alone, and at this point our grocery shopping adventure was about halfway done. Oh crap, I forgot something in the other aisle. I'll be right back, Tyler said, now leaving me completely alone where I stood. And I guess he thought it would be faster if he just left me here and ran and got it himself. I was waiting there for about 2 or 3 minutes before an older man, maybe in his late 50s, walked into the aisle I was in. He had long, completely gray hair, a long coat that nearly touched the floor, and he looked like he was on various drugs from the way he was walking and looking around. He was very twitchy and nervous looking. We made eye contact for a moment. Right when I wanted to move out of there, I turned around quickly and tried to walk out of the aisle. Now, I said I tried, because this guy ran over to me and he grabbed the back of my jacket. "I'm taking you home with me," the man said. My stomach and heart felt like they traded places. I screamed and I elbowed the man in his stomach as hard as I could, and at that moment I was so sure I was about to get kidnapped. Just feeling the stranger's hand on me was terrifying. "Get the heck off of her," I heard Tyler scream at the man. He rushed over from behind me and punched the guy right in the nose, causing him to turn and run in the opposite direction. Just then I realized that Sarah had walked in that direction too. If she came back the same way, what if that guy wasn't done? I pulled Tyler by the arm, leaving all of our groceries in the cart as we turned the corner. All my fears were confirmed. We saw that same man, blood running from his nose, pulling at Sarah by the arm and her hair. The two of us ran at him, and the 2 male employees rushed over and pulled the man away, and then another one of them stopped Tyler from beating the crap out of the guy. They held the guy down while someone called the cops, and I tried to calm Tyler down. I didn't want him to do anything stupid. Sarah was just quiet and horrified, and so was Tyler and I. We tried to reassure her. The police arrived after about 10 minutes, arresting the guy and informing us that the guy was drunk and apparently on various drugs. They searched the man's car and found robes, a hunter's knife, a handgun, and duct tape. I swear I felt my heart stop the moment the police told me this. After finishing our business with the cops, we all went home not really caring about the groceries any longer. Tyler and I are still together to this day, living with his little sister. Tragically, his parents both died about a year ago in a car accident, and now the only people Sarah can look up to are Tyler and I. And ever since, the three of us never separate when we're out in public. This happened about a month ago now. I'm a 17-year-old girl, and keep in mind that teenagers do reckless things. My friends and I took a trip to a few of the big stores every weekend to mess around like Home Depot or Target. This time it was Costco, but this Costco was on the bad side of our town. We still decided to go because it was the only one around that was close enough. When we arrived, we noticed immediately that there were a lot of people out. It was the weekend, after all. We began to wonder if it would be a good idea to do what we usually did or just wait till it was closing time. After a bit of discussion, we decided to finally go inside. Let's just say around this time, the strangest people are out stealing things, getting arrested, and starting fights. As we walked through, we decided to go where the food was because who doesn't enjoy the sensation of big boxes of food? I walked off to go look at the alcohol. After all, this store didn't have any cameras that we saw, and I had my book bag with me, so I was going to steal a few bottles. Again, we were not very wise teens. As I started to grab a few bottles, I feel like I'm being watched. I looked around, and I saw I was alone. So maybe I was just imagining things. After all, I was doing something illegal, but I couldn't help but feel like someone was peeking at me. I grabbed 2 bottles and started to walk around because it was probably a worker. As I continued walking by myself, I catch up with my friends, and I still have the feeling as if someone is watching me, someone is following me. I tried to shake it off and take a deep breath. I began walking toward the bathroom. Since there definitely wouldn't be any cameras in there, it's the easiest spot to shove whatever you got into your bag. I reached the bathroom and I took a quick look back just to see if anyone was following me. Obviously, I see no one behind me, but the feeling remains. I still feel as if someone was there, someone just out of sight. So I ran into the bathroom quickly. I locked the stall door and shoved the 2 bottles I have inside my bag. But then I hear the creak of the door opening in the bathroom. I swallowed hard and I picked up my bag slowly, carefully, standing on the toilet. I'm doing my very best as I move to not make any sounds. I watch as a shadow passes by the stall door I was behind. They passed again and stopped by the stall I'm in. I angle myself, trying my best to see who it is. I could make out their shoes, and their heavy breathing was plain as day. This was no woman. This was a man, and they were peeking in at me. I cleared my throat and said, "Excuse me, you're in the wrong bathroom." As I say that, the person just runs out, and I can hear the guy giggling as he does. Just soon enough, I open the stall door and I catch a glimpse of him. It was definitely no worker. He had a scruffy beard and white like snow hair. I gulped and I ran out of the store, going back to the car where my friends were waiting. They asked me why it took so long, and I explained to them everything that had happened. They just laughed. I guess they found it humorous, but they weren't the ones who had to deal with it. So we piled in the car and we began to leave. And then I looked back, seeing the same guy that had been watching me. He's waving and he's blowing a kiss, wording something I couldn't exactly put together. All I know is if I didn't say anything in the bathroom, something would have probably happened, something that would have stuck with me forever. Now I know to never go to that store again, and being a woman, I should at least stick with a friend at all times.